It's 970 WAMD, and this is the Harford Edge, keeping you on the cutting edge of what's hot and new in Harford County and beyond. I'm Tracy Hart, co-hosting with my boy, Bob Mumby. Bob, good morning to you.
Good morning. And thank you, as always, to Booker T and the MGs for green onions.
We know how much you love
Nothing
that
better
song.
for breakfast than green onions.
Actually, that sounds funny right now. All right, well, the Harford Edge is brought to you each week by the Harford County Public Library. Now, today I'm really excited. We're going to be interviewing Mary Hastler, who is the CEO of the Harford County Public Library. They had a huge event yesterday, and we'll talk more about that with Mary later in the show. But first up, it's time for the birthday game. Woo-hoo!
Amen. I love this game.
I know. Now, folks, if you're not familiar with the birthday game, let me tell you how it's played. All you have to do, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give Bob the name of a famous person whose birthday is today. And he was going to try to guess how old they are for fun and prizes and bragging rights and all that stuff. But the goal or the object is to see if you can get closer to the person's age than he can. So we will see, because Bob's very, very good. Now, all right, I'm going to start off pretty simple. You should figure this one out pretty quickly, Bob. All right, this is a NFL quarterback, and he is not going to be playing in the playoffs, and he happens to live in this area.
He didn't play in the playoffs, or he's eliminated?
He's eliminated from the playoffs.
Joe Flacco?
There you go. How
27. No. 22, 7th year. 29.
He's 30.
Okay.
So he's 30 today. So happy birthday. Wish you were still playing in the playoffs.
And Joe Flacco and Harbaugh, they get no respect. I mean, Flacco has the best road record in the playoffs of everybody but like Joe Montana.
Right.
And I forget who else. They've made the playoffs.
No, he has an
6
amazing
of their 7 years.
It's
Harbaugh
amazing.
And Flacco.
Yeah, it's an amazing. Now, I need to give a quick shout out. It's not on the birthday game list, but yesterday was Drew Brees' birthday, so shout out to him too for my boy.
He's from that with that team in the Big Easy.
Exactly. My boy's the Saints.
Well, unfortunately, that's what their opponents call them on their schedule this year, the Big Easy.
Oh God, it was brutal. It was brutal.
But you gotta love Drew. He's a good man. He's a great quarterback.
He absolutely is. All right. Now this next person, she's a model. But what she was known for, I don't think I would be too proud to be known for. But she's known for being one of the skinniest models. They equated her to Twiggy back in the day.
Kate Moss.
Yeah, Kate Moss. How old do you think she is?
49.
No, she's not that old. She's 41.
Oh, okay.
She's 41. So
I have no idea. She looks.
I don't even think she's good looking. You know.
Neither do I. She's got those weird nostrils.
I don't think I've ever looked at her nostrils.
Her eyes look like she has no eye makeup on, even when she does.
Because she's high all the time.
She's heroined out. I
Yeah.
got no respect for her.
No, I don't either.
Now that you mention it.
Yeah. All right.
And I'm glad I overshot her age by 8 years.
Well, if she keeps doing drugs, she's going to look older.
That's right.
All right. Now, this is
She's going to look as old as Keith Richards.
That's true. Now, this next one, she was part of Fame, and she was the choreographer.
Irene Cara. No.
No.
Debbie.
Yes.
Debbie.
Yes.
Allen.
There you go, Debbie Allen. How old is she today?
60.
65.
Okay.
She's 65, looking really good.
How do I know? I have no idea where I got that from.
I have no idea either, but that's why you're the man. That's why you're on that side of the seat and I'm on this side, because I could never get these right.
As my friends tell me, you have no idea what important information is being crowded out of my brain by this minutia.
Yeah, that's a very good point. That is a very good point. Probably birthdays and holidays.
How to walk.
Okay, so next up is a singer. Gosh, I don't really know too much about her. I do love her music, so I'll just give you it. Sade.
Let's see. She is Sudanese, I think, and Smooth Operator came out in 19...
I mean, I love her music.
Yeah, she's got a
very soulful sound.
She has a silk voice.
Yeah.
30,
and he sits there and he's counting.
53.
56.
Okay.
She's 56. So, and finally, this is the manager of Celine Dion since she was a little squirt and is now Celine Dion's husband. Has been for a while now, but
yeah, Renee.
Canadian. Mm-hmm.
Renee something.
Angelil. How old is he today?
72.
Close, 73.
Okay.
73, so.
Do you like Celine Dion?
I do. I like her music. Now, I haven't heard anything recently, though.
Her voice is great.
Yeah.
But I cannot stomach her shtick.
What stick?
Her shtick, her act, her this self-absorbed, overdramatic, arms flailing,
Yeah. Can we pawn it off on that she's Canadian? Do you think that's why?
That's definitely one of the reasons.
Well, you figure since she's a little bitty child, she's been taught to be a performer, so it's probably just second nature to her. Yeah,
I remember Saturday Night Live. Anna Gasteyer used to do this great parody of her, which she would stop in the middle of anything she was saying and said, "I'm the greatest singer in the world." She'd constantly just say, "I'm the greatest singer in the world."
Yeah, and that was people like Renee saying, this is what you should say and stuff. So.
Yeah, Renee hopped on that gravy train early.
Yeah, but if you ever, I remember a while ago I saw like a documentary about their story, and I got to give them credit. I mean, it's a true love story. A little creepy in the beginning, but good for them. They've stood the test of time.
Yeah, when you think of the other people, like another great story like that, a whole older husband, younger wife, who's the talent, is Gloria Estefan, and her husband, who's much her senior, but they started Miami Sound Machine together.
Right.
But then you have like this guy Tommy Mottola, this producer for Sony.
Yeah, well, he's just creepy.
Started up with
Mariah
and
look at with can't think of his name right now. Great Balls of Fire.
Jerry Lee Lewis.
Yeah, look at Jerry Lee Lewis. I mean, you can't get any creepier than marrying your 14-year-old cousin. So.
Well, he did because he married his 13-year-old.
13-year-old.
Even he's sinking in new lows as we speak.
Yeah, but again, happily married, or married, I don't know about happily. All right, so now it's time for some local news that's happened here in Harford County over the last week. I don't know what's going on in this county, Bob, but people seem to be wielding knives everywhere. Right now, the police are seeking a knife-wielding suspect who robbed the BP in Edgewood, the BP gas station, on the 2200 block of Pulaski Highway on January 12th at 5:30 a.m.
Now that's the one right by McDonald's, Wet Willie's, Giovanni's?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
So here's a question. First of all, who the heck is up at 5:30 in the morning to be out robbing?
Well, it's not. I don't think he got up at 5 o'clock.
You think he was done for the day?
I think it was one of the last. He was still going on some kind of a bender and needed to feed it.
Yeah. Well, the police are looking for him. He's 5'8", black male. There is a $2,000 reward for his for information leading to his arrest. And if you want information about him, or if you have looking for more information, or other suspects that are wanted in Harford County, go to harfordsheriff.org/wanted. So there is a who's who of who they're looking for. So.
Well, and I just want. It seems like there's a lot more. I wonder if there's more sensational.
Well, we had the machete
crimes.
guy 2 weeks ago in Jarrettsville, or wherever that was. Get the machete. Now we got this knife. I guess it's better than guns. I don't know.
I just realized we have to have Sheriff Gaylor on one of these months.
True that.
Jesse was good enough to come on a few times. It was very informative, and I'm sure Jeff.
Love to talk to him about what his plans are for the heroin problem we have.
Yes.
All right. So now this is kind of cool. The new Harford County executive, Barry Glassman, is going to host a virtual town hall budget meeting. First of its kind here in the community. It's going to be happening on January 27th at 6 p.m. And basically what he's looking for is input on the county budget for fiscal year 2016, which will start on July 1st. What people can do is they can go on, you can watch it live. That'll be streaming on Facebook, Twitter, and then, of course, the county website. And Glassman's camp said, go ahead, send in early, any kind of suggestions, questions, anything that you want may be addressed during this town hall. But I think, good for Barry for really getting it out there, taking it to the next level. Well, taking it to,
A level.
Yeah. I mean, it's time to kind of move forward.
I love it.
Yeah, so I think it's a really great idea. I know when I was at the Harford County Public Library yesterday, they were talking about they were going to try to stream it there as well. So if you don't have access to a computer, you can still watch some of it at the Harford County Public Library.
And I when Barry was elected, he talked about making things a lot more transparent than they've been. a lot more accessible, and he's giving it hell.
Yeah,
and
he's doing exactly what he said he would do.
You have a few naysayers that are whining about it before it even happens. That's what their job is, to whine. I give them credit. I'm sure there's going to be some bumps in the road, but I love that they're doing
Well,
it.
there is, but I remember last year I was involved in the one in Annapolis, so this is nothing new. It's just he's taking Harford County to the next,
And he's giving a hell of a lot more people access to local government and its processes. So
now,
hats off.
Now we got to talk about the flip of what was going on with Glassman. I know some people are really upset about this. Glassman has deferred the funding of Havre de Grace Middle High and Joppatown High School projects. Now, what he's did is he's put a statement out last Friday regarding large new capital projects for this, of course, fiscal year 2016. And what he said was, although I expect to give a status report on the county's fiscal condition at my State of the County address on February 2nd, I've begun to notify some agencies that large new capital projects will be deferred until the county's revenue picture improves and our efficiency measures take hold. Later on, he goes on to say, rather, these and any future deferrals are not a reflection on the merits of the projects. Rather, they reflect the ongoing fiscal pressures that call for a temporary delay in large multi-year commitments, in addition to the county's debt obligations. So I can see people being upset. They need new high school, middle schools. They definitely need that. But, on the other hand, we need to become fiscally sound before we can commit to multi-year large projects. So I kind of get it. I get it from both sides.
Yeah, I agree. Listen, just like you said, I mean, Havre de Grace should get a new school, but I think for Barry to have done anything other than put this on hold while they figured it out, while we got this fiscal ship in order, would have been irresponsible. So I think he's doing the right thing. Anybody that was going to be on the receiving end of these capital projects is not going to be happy. But, I mean, let's face it, with all due respect to the previous county executive, the momentum behind the new school in Havre de Grace was mostly, I think 95%, the force of his own will on the project. God bless him for advocating for his hometown and where he came from and realizing the need. But it had be sort of taken on a life of its own, and I think Barry's doing the only right thing by saying, "Hold on, let's take a look at this." He's not saying anything against Havre de Grace. He's not saying they don't deserve the school.
No, it just needs to be deferred until they can figure out and get all their efficiency measures in place.
Yeah.
Totally makes sense.
I hope that a lot of the changes that are being made and some economic development changes and efficiencies that, this time next year, we're talking about teachers and county employees haven't gotten their raises, and capital projects are back in the pipeline.
Yeah. So a bit of kind of impressive news. I don't know if you know this, Bob, but the state's attorney, Joseph Casilli, is in his 9th term in office as the chief prosecutor here in the county. Now, to give you some idea, by the time he's done with his 9th term here, he would have been in office for 36 years. That is unheard of. I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah, it really is. And one of the reasons we're talking about this is because the story, which I had never known, the first time he decided to run, he was working in the prosecutor's office, and he decided he was going to run for it. The sitting prosecutor fired him.
Yeah.
Immediately. And from what I am told is he won the election, and a lot of it was a sympathy vote, not a sympathy vote for any other reason other than the fact that this guy decided he was going to run
and he was
in a
fired.
democratic way, and he got fired. And people said, well, do we really want this other guy who's going to be firing his political rivals, deciding what gets prosecuted, how it gets prosecuted?
But the flip of it is that he wouldn't be still in office if he wasn't doing at least what the public would feel is a decent job. So
yeah.
So,
and listen, you're going to make a lot of enemies when you're the chief prosecutor.
I think. So, yeah, I don't think many people. Maybe that's it. Maybe nobody else wants the job.
Well,
no.
Maybe.
No, that's not true.
It's not easy.
Yeah, I certainly couldn't do it. That's for darn sure. Now, finally, kind of an interesting thing. In case you have not noticed, you would be blind, but there's a big blimp in the sky that's been there now for quite a little while. Basically what it is it's Aberdeen Proving Ground has a program called J-Lens. And what J-Lens is it's basically the blimp is just holding a small device. And what the device is that it can detect missiles from 360 degree from anywhere, more than 340 miles in any direction. So that would protect D.C., that protects Philly, that protects, New York. It really makes a difference. And so they are testing it right now. At least that's what they're telling us, is that they're testing the program, make sure it works. I know that there's a lot going on behind the scenes with it. Hopefully there isn't more of a reason other than just, they're testing it. But
well, first of all, J-Lens sounds like a discount basement clothing store.
It's a huge acronym for...
And it's funny how little we know. I was driving on 95 and I saw the blimp. And first thing I said to myself, are the Ravens playing at home today? I thought they were playing in New England. Because I assumed it was like a sports coverage blimp.
Yep, nope. It's just up there to hold this little piece of equipment. That's the only reason it's up there.
That's detecting cruise missiles, which can be fired from offshore and can travel in at, at an altitude of 150 feet. But my question is, the only thing that concerns me is we have this blimp they put up in the sky a month ago. What were we doing before that?
I know,
what was
right?
our defense?
I know. It really kind of questions what the deal is. But again, Aberdeen Proving Ground is known for doing all the testing for the Army, or at least a good portion of the testing. And so it's just one more example that we are part of the future of the Army and military. Yes. So, yes, it's a little unnerving. Wherever you go, you see the blimp up in the sky. You feel like it's watching you because it sort of is, I guess. But what most important is that it's there for our safety and our security. And, if a blimp in the sky might help us deter things, then great.
And we have one more quick story to do, but we can't pass up the opportunity to say what a reminder this blimp is of the innovation that's taking place in Harford County. And that'll be a great lead-in to our guest, who, by the way, is still en route. Hello, Mary, on the radio. We'll see you in a few minutes. But we did want to cover one other thing. And that is this bishop, Heather Cook, who is the bishop of the Baltimore Diocese of the Episcopal Church.
So now, if people aren't familiar with this story, basically the short version is she was drunk driving and full speed came up behind a biker, not a motorcycle, but a regular biker on a trail, and hit him and killed him, and then decided to drive away.
And let me add something to that. She was drunk driving. She blew a .22.
A couple hours after is what I read too.
And she was texting.
Yeah. So she really did the full whammy.
And this guy, Thomas Palermo, God rest his soul, 41 years old, 2 young kids, cruising along. Now he's gone because this person, and I use that term loosely, I hope she gets the help that she needs, decided to only think about herself. Now, she was originally denied bail.
And she was just released.
The judge said that she was, reckless, and she showed a reckless and careless indifference to life.
Yeah, because she drove away after she hit him.
I mean, that makes her a monster.
Yeah.
We find out that she was arrested. It's not her first arrest. She was
arrested
in 2010. She blew a .27.
Yep.
And she was elected the bishop last year.
Well, it goes back to what we've talked about with churches and stuff, that they tend to try to keep their problems to themselves and not, they wanted to hide it. They didn't supposedly tell the committee that elected her or whatever to bishop. They supposedly kept it from them.
Yeah.
So shame on all of them all the way around.
Yeah, and she really needs to do time. She took someone's life. We're always talking about texting and driving.
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
And distracted driving. And, we all screw up. But, instead of putting these kids in jail who were, for minor nonviolent drug offenses, how about we put this bishop in jail for killing someone because she was drunk and texting?
And she has a history of doing it. So it's not that this was her first offense.
Right.
So she's proven that she can't be trusted on her own. So I'm all about throwing the book at her and throwing the book at the church for allowing, not trying to help her or do what they need to do. The whole thing. So
Bishop, God bless you. I hope you get the help you need, but you need to
slam
that society.
Put her in the slammer.
If everything that's alleged is true, we must add.
Well, I don't think I've seen anywhere where there's any question that everything that we've talked about did in fact happen. Right. I don't think there's any question of that. I think the question is how much time is she going to get versus how much time in rehab, and she's in rehab right now trying to make it so that she looks like she's doing well, but anyway.
And this is what we should be focusing on, the classism, the privilege, the unequal privilege accorded to people of certain classes, more than anything. End of that.
There you go. All right. Well, we're going to take a break here. When we come back, our very, very amazing Mary Hastler with the Harford County Public Library has just sat down next to me, and I'm really excited to talk to her about the new project that was unveiled yesterday. So I'm going to keep you guys on ice. We'll be back in just a few seconds.
Have a little one? Studies have shown that between infancy through age 8 is the most important time in a child's early literacy development. The Harford County Public Library understands the importance with their Puppy Tales Winter Reading Program. Puppy Tales encourages participation in daily activities that strengthens pre-reading skills. Parents and caregivers can now register their children for the Puppy Tales Winter Reading Program online starting January 2nd or at any library branch on January 3rd. You'll receive an activity log with 20 simple but fun learning activities based on 5 of the early literacy practices: talking, singing, reading, writing, and playing. Upon completion of 12 of the 20 activities and returning the log between January 2nd and March 7th, children will receive a certificate and special completion prize. For more early literacy tips, stop by any Harford County Public Library Storytime or visit hcplonline.org for more information. Winter's here. It's too cold to go outside exploring, so go to the Harford County Library for family fun and adventure with their winter reading program. What will your destination be this winter? How many books would you like to read to get there? Join the fun at the Harford County Library for the Destination Unlimited Read Winter Reading Program. And new this year, early bird registration beginning on the first day of winter, December 21st. Sign up at any branch or online at hcplonline.org and you'll receive a commemorative pin just for registering. And to finish off your travels, adults who read or listen to at least 5 books and teens who read or listen to at least 3 books can return their completed book list starting as early as January 9th. A collector's mug will be yours for completing the program, which ends March 7th. Pins and mugs available while supplies last. Registration for the Winter Reading Program is easy and it's free. Sign up at hcplonline.org or walk into your Harford County Library branch. Completed reading logs can be turned in from January 9th through March 7th, so don't miss out. Family fun and adventure. You never know what you'll find when your destination is unlimited at hcplonline.org and the Harford County Library near you.
All right, and we're back now. As I mentioned at the beginning of the break, I'm so excited to be sitting here with Mary Hastler, who is the CEO of the Harford County Public Library. Now, yesterday Mary, you, first of all, welcome. Thank you for being here with us.
Well, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Now, we got to talk about yesterday there was a ribbon cutting for the new Innovation Lab at the Harford County Public Library Abingdon branch. Now, a little bit of background about it is the Harford County Public Library Innovation Lab is a digital media lab that provides 6th grade through adulthood community members opportunities to be creators of electronic, video, audio, publishing, and 3D designs. The lab is open to the public and can be reserved for special projects. There's hands-on training it's offered to help maximize the use of the equipment and software, and through creative experiences in the Innovation Lab, customers can develop new skills, resources, and products that help to drive Harford County's economy forward. This is pretty amazing, Mary. I mean, first of all, I know this is a project that's you guys have been working on for a little while, but talk about bringing the Harford County Public Library to the forefront of innovation and equipment. I mean, it's just amazing what you guys are doing there.
It truly is amazing. And if you had asked me 5 years ago if we would have been able to launch this so quickly and so very different than anyone else, I would have probably had a little giggle and said, I like to dream. However, yesterday...
Well, can I stop you for a second?
Sure.
You guys are always different.
Well, that's true.
You're very, among small and medium-sized libraries, you're often in a class by yourselves, nationwide. So.
Well, thank you. Yes, we feel we're different. Sometimes that's good.
You don't mind those interruptions, do you, Mary?
Absolutely not, honey. yesterday was an incredible day as we did launch the Innovation Lab, and it is a digital media lab, which is a little bit different than what some of the other libraries are doing throughout the country. You've probably heard the term a makerspace. So it's similar to a makerspace, but it's actually taking it to the next level. It's very heavy into the technology piece and collaboration in the community. So yesterday we did have our official ribbon cutting with a very large pair of scissors. If you look at our Facebook pages, you will see the gentleman holding them.
Where do you get those, by the way?
I think we store them somewhere. I think we share them in the community. But it was a terrific morning as we did launch the lab, and people are very, very fascinated about the idea of 3D printing. And a lot of people have not seen it in action, and I know I was introduced to it down in Disney World about 2 years ago now, and just was mesmerized by them making 3D phone cases. So I grilled the young man behind the counter who worked on the Disney cruise ships, and he said, "You ask a lot of questions." I said, "Yes, I do. I'm a librarian, and I'm very happy about that." But I was just intrigued about it and thinking, how can I bring that back to Harford County? So a year and a half ago, APG approached us, one of the scientists, and wanted to donate one of the early 3D printers. And we said, absolutely. We launched it in Abingdon, and it sat on the information desk, and people just looked at it printing little things out. Then we had to put it on hiatus as we started planning the Innovation Lab. So we have 3 3D printers. We have a large green screen, a professional green screen. So our aspiring actors and actresses out in the community, you can do your own self-video production. We have sophisticated software. We have self-publishing because, of course, we're a library. And we do really want to support our local artists and our local authors. So you can do self-publishing. And then you can also do 3D printing. And 3D printing is 3D printing. It's a little object. And if you do go to our Facebook page, you can see a little purple lamb that we printed for the county executive. And I was able to say Barry Glassman, which always cracks me up. But it's really a learning opportunity for the community. And right now it is primarily focused for middle school and adults, through adults. However, it's really, we're adding on to our STEM program that we started a few years ago when I became director.
Tell everyone what STEM is.
STEM is science, technology, engineering, and math. And we usually throw in reading and arts, too. So we call it STREAM. But for this purposes, I'll use STEM. And we start when Diaper Gang, when you're born. You come to Diaper Gang. And then you graduate and you go into Little Leapers, which is our STEM kits for birth to age 6. Then you go into Little Leapers 3.5, your introduction to technology when you're 3 years old. Then you graduate into LEAP, which is our elementary age program. And then you graduate to the Innovation Lab.
Well, and I have to say, when I was there yesterday for the ribbon cutting, I was amazed by the equipment. We're not talking, somebody hand-me-down 3D printer. You have in there everything from the, you've got obviously the 3D printer. It's the MakerBot Replicator 5th generation 3D printer, but you have 3 Apple iMac 27-inch desktop computers with Adobe. You've got, like you said, the professional green screen with Studio Lightbox. You've got the Canon Vixia camcorder. I mean, you've got all the high-end equipment. So when people come in there, I think some might say, oh, well, it's probably used equipment or things that aren't maybe as nice as what technology is today, but that's not true. This is all top-notch. This is what's current right now.
Exactly.
Which is amazing.
Exactly. And we were fortunate to partner with Rosedale Federal Savings and Loan, who provided the funding for this launch, because we couldn't have done it without that. But
so let's say that again. Rosedale Federal Savings and Loan. Everyone
Association,
should know that.
yes.
Association.
And they're
Thank
located
you
in
to
Harford
Rosedale.
County. Thank you very much to Rosedale. And this is a great example, as I mentioned yesterday, a public-private partnership, and how we can really get together and do something terrific for the community. What I want to make sure everybody understands is it's great equipment, it's high, it's sophisticated, but it's okay. It's okay if you know nothing about this to come on in. We're going to be offering classes, workshops, bring in folks to work with you on one-on-one, because it really is to learn about it and to collaborate together as a group. And it's just a terrific energy in that room. So even if you know nothing about technology or have never seen a 3D printer, we want you to stop by, peek in. We will happily show you how to do it. And it's really, we want to make this simple. We want to help people to share their stories, to make memories for their families, and we want to move into the future together.
Well, and I think what's important is that you're saying that this is open for 6th graders and up. So, when I think about when I walked in there, I see all this really fancy equipment, and I think, ooh, I don't know if I'd want my children in here because I'd be scared they'd break it. But the whole point is to bring the kids in there, 6th grade and older, that there are people on site to help them, to teach them, to work with them. My 6th grader probably would know more about it than I would at this point, but I just think
we can be pretty sure of that.
That's probably.
Now be nice, Bob.
Oh no, I'm thinking generically.
Oh, okay.
But it was still,
He knows more than I do too.
Yeah, but it's amazing. Again, the fact that this is something that somebody just come into the public library and can work on this.
Yes, and it's open when we're open to the public. You can reserve it, so if you want to do your self-video production, you might want to have the room to yourself.
Right.
Of course, we always have a staff member there, but you can reserve it and book it, and we really think that it's a great opportunity for people to learn and create. We really want people to create original content. That's what it's all about. And then to save that content, and then we'll put it up online so people can see it in their YouTube or Facebook or whatever your product is that you talk to your friends with. It's a great way for families to connect. It's a great way for our teens to do something, to learn something new, a new skill. It's a great way if you are a fledgling entrepreneur and let's say you have an idea of doing a new hairbrush that will solve like my curly hair and make it perfect when I blow it dry. Well, you can come to the library and do a prototype of that hairbrush and then sit down with your funder like a Rosedale or APG. Sit down with them and say, this is what I'd like to make and this is how much I think I need to get a seed money to start this business up. Isn't that a great way? Because people, when they visualize something and can see it, it's a great selling point. So it really is something that I think our business community can use, our entrepreneurs can use, our children can use, our seniors can use to come in and do self-video production and send something to their grandchildren and children saying happy birthday if they would like, or work on your latest novel that's in your mind.
Well, and to expand from that, I think the vocational implications, whether it's video or graphic arts or reproduction, etc., or and is just so exciting because it can help people launch and understand and refine what they want to do in these fields as a career, understand how they can make their educational choices for that going forward, et cetera. So it's great.
Now, do you have a fear or a concern about people you talk about people starting businesses, that this becomes their office then?
Oh, we have a policy against that. Not a problem, no fear.
Okay, I was going to say, because I could see people taking advantage of it, and then unfortunately people, the 6th grader who wants to come in there and do something for a project for school, not being able to then.
And what we do is we're starting out small. Everything is free. It's only 25 cents if you want to print a large poster out. That's the only thing we do charge for at this point.
What if you print a small sheep?
It's free. We're not charging for the filament or anything, and we are limiting the time down to 2 hours because if you know anything about 3D printing, it does take time. To do the small little sheet took about an hour and a half. To do a simple keychain might take 20 minutes. So we do limit it to 2 hours at a time just so that everyone has an opportunity to experience it.
So my plan to sell purple sheep out of my trunk in the parking lot of the library is
you'd have to come all
foiled.
Like every couple of days or so. But the really nice thing about it, I had someone ask me yesterday, they said they were thinking of changing careers, and they said they were thinking of going back to school, and I said, well, go online to our website, go to our Gale courses. They offer the courses that are led by a professor. They're 6-week courses and you get a certificate. We have it on graphic arts. We have it on all the things that you would need. So it's a great mashup of things that we already have, and then you have a new opportunity. You can go to take your course and then come in and have fun in the lab, or come and have fun in the lab and then take your course. So it's just a great learning opportunity.
Great opportunity for hands-on.
Yeah.
Tell us briefly how the genesis of this, how it started,
Okay.
who made it happen, who made it possible. I mean, certainly you and your incredible staff are at the center of it, but
Sure.
let me share that with us.
Well, as I said, about 2 years ago, I was in Disney World, and I was intrigued by the 3D printing. So when we had the opportunity to add the one 3D printer to the library, I jumped on it because I thought it was a nice partnership with APG, and I was really thought people should see what it does. And we did it on a very small basis. It just sat on the information desk, and we would program it to print out jewelry, keychains. People would come in and do little projects on it, and it was just fun. And it was a really nice way for people to grasp around what the idea of 3D printing is. So then in library world, nationally, the movement for makerspaces started. And I was intrigued by makerspaces, but they're a little bit more craft oriented.
So explain for the audience what a makerspace is.
Well, a makerspace could be many things. It could be a room where one week you come in and you do some type of craft. You might create something. The next week you might come in and you might create a little robot. The following week you might come in and they'll change it over and it might be something to do with technology. It could possibly have 3D printing, but that's fairly new in libraries right now. So it's just a way that people can come in and collaborate, but it's not as technology intensive usually, unless you have a major funding. So we started kicking it around, but we weren't quite ready for that. And then Rosedale approached us, and they had the grant opportunity, and they said they would like it to focus on education, technology, and the community because they really are committed to Harford County. So we started thinking, well, maybe this is our way. We could do our version of a technology lab of some sort. So we decided to call it the Innovation Lab. We pulled a team together. Amber Schroeds, who was our foundation director, wrote the grant for the Rosedale. We received the funding, and that was about 3 months ago. And then we started selecting the equipment, selecting how we wanted the room to be set up. We had to retrofit our old hardwired computer lab. So it took our IT department, it took our marketing department, it took foundation, it took Rosedale, it took administration, it took the community. And then what we discovered is this technology is sophisticated. So people actually had to learn how to use the equipment. 3D printers can be what I would refer to as a little high maintenance because you do have to calibrate them. You do have to change the heads. You have to the filament. It's just there's lots of moving parts to it. So it's not.
You glossed over that pretty quickly, Mary. Is there a reason for that?
For what?
The filament.
The filament. Well, we looked into that. We did our research. We're librarians. So there's two types of filament, and we selected the PLA filament because it's corn-based, and it doesn't have the toxicity or the fumes that some of the other filaments may have. So, and then, interesting enough, when I was up in Greenwich, where my sister lived before she moved here, in Greenwich, in their main street, where all their high-end boutiques are, they have a MakerBot store. I think it's the only one in the country.
Oh, wow.
Is Greenwich, Connecticut?
Yes, Greenwich, Connecticut. And MakerBot is actually based in Brooklyn, New York, but their store obviously is in Greenwich. So we went in, I dragged my sister in, who's not a techie, and I just drove the people there crazy, asking all these questions because they had the little MakerBot set up and they had all these different things. So we just kind of put our creative hats on and developed something that I think is very unique, very different, and I think really meets the needs of Harford County because you have to keep that in mind whenever you develop something. You want to make sure people use it. And it will continue to evolve as people use it, we figure out what's working, what doesn't quite work, and how we need to adapt. And we do want to offer classes for some of the younger children. We just have to figure out how to do that because it is very intense equipment in the room.
It absolutely is. But again, I keep going back to the fact that how amazing this is to have in the community that people can come in and use it for free.
Free. Except for 25 cents if you print a paper out.
That's true if you print a piece
of paper. But
that's
all our printing.
But again, and I think, yesterday was the first time I had ever seen a 3D printer in action.
Really?
It was. So, I mean, I've seen it, videos and stuff, but that was the first time in person. And so for me even, I'm 30-something years old, and we'll say that it was
As
just...
is Mary.
29.
As all of us are.
Several times over.
It was still pretty amazing, though, to watch. And the fact that, my high schooler could come in, sit down at the computer, work on a project, print something, it just makes it so, it takes it to the next level.
Well, and what we're doing is Maurice Coleman is our technical trainer for our library system. So he's been, his charge has been to coordinate the lab right now. So what we're looking for also are volunteers. And we've had a lot of interest from our community, a lot of folks who are technology oriented who would like to volunteer in the lab, which I think is another great way to really get everyone involved in it because this is really the community's lab.
So is there if someone out there has an expertise in this and would like to volunteer, who should they call?
They can call Maurice Coleman at the Abingdon Library, or they can go online and we have a volunteer coordinator, Michelle Louderback, who's located in Riverside in our headquarters, or they can email the library on the website has an email capability. You can email it and we will send it to the appropriate person.
This is amazing. And for anyone out there who, is new to 3D printing, this is just the beginning of so many things. I mean, because basically the filament is sort of like toner that.
Not quite. It's
sort of
it's more
whatever process liquefies it, then hardens it and fuses it. So.
It's for women out there. You will know this. For some of your craft jewelry, it's on the wire, the clear wire. That's what's similar to the filament, except a little thicker. So it's bendable, but it is harder, and then it gets melted at 400 degrees, and it just places layers. Think of a layer cake. You're building the layers of whatever the object is you're designing, and then it's hard when you're done.
And some of the implication, I mean, I've seen where people have been able to, a team has been able to design a prosthetic for someone on the West Coast and just send the file, of the print file, and they've been able to print it in Rochester, New York, in someone's prosthetic, a piece of their prosthetic hand that they needed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I think, and we're talking about the 3D printing, but we need to also talk about the fact that you do have green screen capability. You do have, cameras and microphones and, editing equipment. And so it's more than just working on a computer, say, on a project. It's from a technological standpoint, it's all media.
Correct.
Which is, again, in this day and age, I know my daughter, my 9-year-old, does videos all the time at home. So if she had the ability to be able to go and do green screen, she'd love it.
Yes.
So I think it's just it just opens up these kids to so much more. That's going to be their norm. I mean, for us it might be new, but for them it's going to be their norm.
I agree. I totally agree. And it's cross-generational. It's a lot for kids, it's for the teens, it's for the adults, it's for the seniors, and the potential for this is just amazing. Mm-hmm. The potential for Harford County in creating that original content is amazing. And so we think it's just a great project. It's a great collaboration with everyone, and we couldn't have done it without everyone.
Absolutely. So again, it's called the Innovation Lab, and it's at the Abingdon Library. Mm-hmm. It is open to the public. There's people on site to be able to help if you want to go in, you want to kind of get a tour, see what there is to offer. If you want to learn about the equipment, Maurice or somebody else will be there on site to help out. But again, folks, it's free. Take advantage of it. This is something that, again, to help your kids and for their future and just even for yourself, it's fascinating information. So, Mary, really excited about that. So, again, folks, it's at the Abingdon Library, so check it out.
Go HCPL. And
Now,
you're sticking around, right?
You're sticking around to
Sure,
hang out with us.
I'd be happy to.
Okay, so folks, don't go away. When we come back, we're going to be looking over the edge at some of the news that's happened outside of Harford County. Plus, I know Bob doesn't like to hear this, but we like to listen to Bob's thingamabobs. So they're in store for us, so don't go away.
Have a little one? Studies have shown that between infancy through age 8 is the most important time in a child's early literacy development. The Harford County Public Library understands the importance with their Puppy Tales Winter Reading Program. Puppy Tales encourages participation in daily activities that strengthens pre-reading skills. Parents and caregivers can now register their children for the Puppy Tales Winter Reading Program online starting January 2nd or at any library branch on January 3rd. You'll receive an activity log with 20 simple but fun learning activities based on 5 of the early literacy practices: talking, singing, reading, writing, and playing. Upon completion of 12 of the 20 activities and returning the log between January 2nd and March 7th, children will receive a certificate and special completion prize. For more early literacy tips, stop by any Harford County Public Library Storytime or visit hcplonline.org for more information. Winter's here. It's too cold to go outside exploring, so go to the Harford County Library for family fun and adventure with their winter reading program. What will your destination be this winter? How many books would you like to read to get there? Join the fun at the Harford County Library for the Destination Unlimited Read Winter Reading Program. And new this year, early bird registration beginning on the first day of winter, December 21st. Sign up at any branch or online at hcplonline.org and you'll receive a commemorative pin just for registering. And to finish off your travels, adults who read or listen to at least 5 books and teens who read or listen to at least 3 books can return their completed book list starting as early as January 9th. A collector's mug will be yours for completing the program, which ends March 7th. Pins and mugs available while supplies last. Registration for the winter reading program is easy and it's free. Sign up at hcplonline.org or walk into your Harford County Library branch. Completed reading logs can be turned in from January 9th through March 7th, so don't miss out. Family fun and adventure. You never know what you'll find when your destination is unlimited at hcplonline.org and the Harford County Library near you.
All right, and we're back. Now it's time for what sometimes can be rather interesting is Bob's Thingamabobs, which I know he hates that name. He keeps saying he hates the name, but it's just so perfect. So, Bob, take it away.
Yeah, and Cindy Mumby was responsible for coming up with that name. So,
which is a great name. Yes.
Okay, what I'm going to do is anger you, Mary, and Tracy. Then, Mary, I'm going to make you cry.
Oh, that's great.
Then I'm going to inform you both.
Aren't you glad to be a guest?
Yeah, I haven't had coffee yet.
Then I'm going to inform you. Then I'm going to make you think. Then I'm going to make you laugh. Hopefully.
Okay.
Okay. Anger time. 3 more charities that call you on the phone. And the percentages of money that actually go to the charity.
So what this is a call center calls and says, Mary, would you like to donate to the Fraternal Order of the Police? Now, they don't work for the Fraternal Order of the Police, but they're a fundraising call center. So the percentage that actually goes to the real charity is what?
The first one, Find the Children, 4.7%. The Defeat Diabetes Foundation, 0.1%, 1/10 of 1%.
So 0.1%.
The Association for Firefighters and Paramedics, 3.1%. And the International Union of Police Associations, AFL-CIO, 1/2 of 1%. The rest goes to the cold calling firms. A lot of them are old bucket shop, slime ball, stock promoters that got thrown out of business there. So now they hire a bunch of smilers and dialers to do this. Don't give any money to people calling on a phone. Do it locally. Do it to a charity that you believe in and you understand and trust.
But go directly to the charity.
Yeah. Ooh, good.
Ooh, I like that one.
I like that one too, Bob.
Go right to the charity themselves.
Okay, what do you want next? Crying?
Sure.
I always try to give Mary a library quote that touches her. And I've been successful.
You have been very successful.
Now
99%.
I have to find
Now
it.
he lost it, so he can't. So it might be a minute here.
Where the hell is it? Where the heck is it? I should
Here, I'll
say.
tell you mine. My favorite one.
Yes, tell us your favorite quote.
It's communities change libraries, and libraries change communities.
Ooh, I like that.
I made that up. That's my own.
Oh, we need to put a quote here from Mary Hastler herself.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Cutting libraries during a recession is like cutting hospitals during a plague.
True.
I like that.
It's true.
Google can bring you back 100,000 answers. A librarian can bring you back the right one.
True.
Ooh, that's nice.
It's very true.
I like that.
Ray Bradbury, libraries raised me. And Jermaine Greer, a library is a place where you can lose your innocence without losing your virginity.
I'm not sure I'd promote that one out.
Yeah, I can't put that one on my annual report, but
And I like Peter Golkins. My 2 favorite things in life are libraries and bicycles. They both move people forward without wasting anything. And Alan Dershowitz, a library is a place where you learn what teachers were afraid to teach you.
or weren't allowed to teach.
Yeah, I think that's more likely.
And Spider Robinson, libraries are the secret masters of the world. They control information. Librarians are.
Librarians are.
They control information. Don't ever piss one off.
Well, that's actually very true.
And Joan Bauer, when the going gets tough, the tough get a librarian.
Yes, and she's a wonderful author, by the way.
I have not read anything
wonderful
by
lady.
her, but I see,
Very sweet.
yeah. And Shelby Foots, I love this one too. He was a great historian. A university is just a group of buildings gathered around a library.
Oh,
Okay.
thank
We got a
you.
little
That was
close.
very heartwarming.
Now educational.
Okay.
You have T-shirts.
Yes.
They're soft, but
Yeah.
they're not like vintage soft.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm a little concerned.
Water, quarter cup of salt, 3 days, then wash them with a dash of detergent, and they're as soft as lamb's wool.
Oh.
Wow, interesting.
Wow. Cup of salt.
Yes.
I wonder if
Do you eat bananas?
Yes.
Isn't it annoying that they all get ripe at the same time?
Yes.
And then you have the last two that have really
Yeah, you just
disgusting.
kinda throw away.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you open them up, and I'm going to have
I like
that
green bananas,
gushy,
actually.
jellified. You just separate them when you buy them. You use a 6-pack, an empty 6-pack. Just separate them because they ripen more quickly
If they're attached.
if they're close to, if they're if they're touching.
So now why would that be?
I have no idea.
Warmth?
It could be, warmth. It could be some kind of
Chemical, maybe?
Maybe they're alive.
Yeah, maybe we don't realize that they're really little fingers.
Maybe they get annoyed that we separate them and they spitefully
They spitefully
delay
don't.
their ripening. Do you have the problem where you try to take the plastic bag that's full of garbage out of the trash bin?
And everything falls out.
First of all,
You
it's
can't
hard to
get it
pull
out.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have a solution for that. You just drill a few holes in the side, the bottom, but not in the bottom, but in the side. So that creates air. So when you're trying to pull it out, you're not creating
Just like
a
what you would do
vacuum.
with a can.
Right.
Oh.
Like with cranberry sauce or something.
And do you have
Oh.
a problem with your laundry list? Not a laundry list, your shopping list? Now that my wife is working like 14 hours a day, I'm doing more shopping.
Aw, poor Bob.
So, how do you make your list from scratch every day? And if you're running out or you're coming home and you don't have your list, what do you need?
Mm-hmm.
Just take a picture of your open refrigerator and carry it with you, and a picture of your open food cabinet with you. And then as you're walking, you see, and you'll know what you need to look at, if the mayonnaise or ketchup or butter. Not bad, eh?
That's a good
That's
tip.
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll get that out of the way. I don't think
Wasn't
I
that
need to
good?
do anything.
Yeah.
That one wasn't a good one. That's not a keeper, guys.
Do we want to do a Siri question or two?
Sure. So basically what happens, you know Siri. Siri is the voice
Oh,
for
yes.
Apple phone. So last week Bob asked Siri a bunch of questions, and she's a little snippy sometimes.
Oh, yes, she is.
She got mad at him and called him Robert at one point. So it was rather amusing to watch.
Yes. And she's, she's allowed, I guess.
Well,
Let's
yeah.
see what she has to say. Beam me up, Siri.
Okay, stand still.
Oh,
Oh,
isn't that sweet?
that's cute.
Tell me a joke.
The past, present, and future walk into a bar. It was tense.
Aww.
Oh,
See, I would love to know the
That's
people who came up with these to put these in there.
exactly.
Test 1, 2, 3.
Hey, nobody told me there would be a test.
See, I love it. I mean, could you imagine that being your job? Okay, come up with ideas for
Really?
Siri to come back with.
How much do you cost, Siri?
I strive to be invaluable.
Oh,
She's in a sweet mood today.
she is.
Yes,
Yeah,
she
last
is.
week she got a little snippy with him. She was not happy with him.
Yes, she know. Well, say something dirty.
I'm not that kind of personal assistant.
Yeah, and then she called him Robert later, and it was just she got mad.
Okay, and now we have something just for you to be careful. I was at a conference a few weeks ago, and a professional computer hacker gave an amazing talk, and now he works for one of the large think tanks helping prevent computer hacking. And he gave us 4 examples that shocked me, but I guess they shouldn't have. First of all, you're staying in a hotel. You have your bill on the TV. You watch your movies on the TV. You could check out, etc. Someone likely in that hotel has a transponder just for the fun of it, and they know exactly what you're billing for, what movies you're watching. So be careful about that, etc. Just because it's all it is it's a transponder in the main room of the hotel, and anyone can hack into it. What he did last year at LAX was he built a hacker bot. It was a little robot on wheels that had all these receivers that can go with Wi-Fi, go into everyone's phone, get their passwords, and he drove this thing around the airport with a screen, would drive it up to people and show them their password.
That's creepy.
He went to a security conference last year, and he logged everyone's Bluetooth traffic. So the director of information security at Apple, he put up on the screen where this guy was the whole morning, because every time his phone logged in, it said where he was. It said, you checked out, you changed your flight while you were in the lobby. And so these are the things that people are doing. And you know how Google knows your traffic? You ever go on Google Maps and see the green? They know that because they know your location and whether you're moving or not. And they aggregate that with everyone else.
Interesting. It is very interesting.
Okay, now we're going to do a little...
Now, with that, there's a movie that's coming out. I think it's this weekend, or I think it came out today. It's called Black Hat, and it's basically about high-tech hackers and what they can actually really, really do to hurt countries. So
I still can't believe it. But again, we shouldn't be surprised. And yet, there's nothing you can do about it.
No.
So you just
live in a box and not be live in the woods. Be a bush person. I saw a show the other day about bush people. I'm gonna become a bush person. You wanna join me, Mary?
No, I don't like the woods. I don't like snakes.
Yes. Or bears. That's like the old story about what if a bear shows up in our tent?
Oh.
Yeah, well, I'm going to start running. And the other person said, well, you can't outrun a bear. He goes, I don't know if to outrun the bear. I just have to outrun you.
Yeah.
Okay, I took a little test. I gave myself a test, and I got 8 out of 19. I'm guessing Tracy gets 18 or 17, and I'm guessing you get
7, if I'm good.
Just say yes or no whether you know this person is.
Okay.
Not just if you heard their name, but you have a little semblance of who they are.
Okay.
Reggie Bush.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Colby Callier.
Calais. Yes.
No.
Okay.
Love her song. She's got a really great song right now.
Okay. See, I didn't know who that was, and nor Mary. I'm several years older than Mary, but that's beside the point. Lana Del Rey.
Yes.
Okay. Ooh,
Singer.
We got a yes with a head move.
Yes.
And she's got good music.
She does.
Chris Humphries.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Calvin Johnson.
Yes.
Yes.
Carly Rae Jepsen.
Yes.
Yes.
Anna Kendrick.
Yes.
Yes.
Keira Knightley.
Yes.
Yes.
Imitation
She's
Game. Best movie I've
expecting right
seen.
now.
Oh, really?
I really like her as an actress. She's one of my favorite
too.
actresses.
Me too.
Imitation Game. Have you seen it?
I've not seen that one, no.
But she was in
Best
Pirates of the
Picture.
Caribbean.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
She was in Arthur, which
Yes,
is a
she
really good
was.
movie. I
That's
love
right.
that movie.
But go see Imitation Game. It's going to be Best Picture. Benedict Cumberbatch is going to be Best Actor.
Okay.
Well, there you go,
One
Bob.
of the best
Wow.
movies I've
Was
seen.
she nominated?
Yes, Best Supporting Actress.
Okay.
Good for
great.
her.
Good for her.
Emily Kinney.
No, I don't know if I know that one.
Bruno Mars.
Yes.
Yes.
Michael Phelps.
Yes.
Amanda Seyfried.
Yes.
Yes.
Rooney Mara.
Yes.
Carrie Mulligan.
Yes.
Jack Osborne.
Yes.
Allison Pill.
How do you spell pill?
No.
P-I-L-L?
Mm-hmm.
No.
And Raven Simone.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Okay. You
She's
guys
a Disney kid.
Yeah.
Did, okay. You
Not
did better
anymore.
than me.
Oh,
You did much better than me. Okay, 2 quotes from Thomas Sowell, then we'll do the weekend events. This one I like. It may upset a few people. It is amazing that people who think we cannot afford to pay for doctors, hospitals, and medication somehow think we can afford to pay for doctors, hospitals, medication, and a government bureaucracy to administer it.
Nice. Okay.
2, if you've always believed that everyone should play by the same rules and be judged by the same standards, that would have gotten you labeled a radical 60 years ago, a liberal 30 years ago, and a racist today.
Oh, interesting.
That is an interesting quote.
And I like this one. It takes considerable knowledge just to realize the extent of your own ignorance.
That's true.
That's very true.
I think that we've seen some of that here in the recent months with the.
I'm very discouraged with our leadership on all sides of the aisle, but
We have one minute left, so let's go over some events that are happening here throughout the community. The Harford Community College Actors Guild will be presenting the Gifted program on January 23rd through the 25th and January 30th through February 1st. In 1986, the very bottom of Racine, Wisconsin's high school social food chain consists of the remaining members of the Dungeons and Dragons Club, 4 socially awkward refugees from a defunct program for talented and gifted students. So this is kind of a cool little thing that they have. For more information, visit tickets.harford.edu. We've got an evening with David Lindley, which will be taking place on Wednesday, January 28th at 7:30 p.m. in the Chesapeake Theater at Harford Community College, put together by Slate Ridge Entertainment and our very own Bob Mumby, who's sitting here with his arms up in the air.
Slay Ridge is such a great group of people.
Yeah, it is slateridgeentertainment.com, so check that out. We've got the Harvard Artist Gallery at Rockville Manor in Bel Air, which will be presenting a Starving Artist sale through February 22nd. Everything from jewelry to photography, paintings, and so much more. That's artinharford.org. And with that said, our time has come to an end. So I want to thank you, Mary, so much for being here with us today. We absolutely love the Harford County Public Library. Folks, you need to be out there. You need to go check out at the Aberdeen branch, the Innovation Lab. You will be amazed by everything there that they have to offer. So,
And just go online every day or every few days, hcplonline.org. If you're not familiar with it or if you don't do it that much, it's just It's just an open book. It's so many things that the library's doing. We're very
He said
lucky to
open
have
book.
this
He
team.
did.
That was really bad.
That was
pun.
An open
bad.
book?
Yeah, that was a bad pun.
Should I shelve that idea?
Yeah. All right. Want to thank you, Mary, for being a part of the show today. That's all the time we have for the Harford Edge. Thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you next week.